welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do meal prep with you guys because I know I recommended that you do meal prep in one of my last videos, and I just thought it would be great if I could share a couple meal prepping recipes with you guys. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a breakfast recipe, a lunch recipe, and a snack. All these recipes are super healthy and so easy to make. They're perfect for if you're in a time crunch or if you're taking them to work, or if you're just at home and you get hungry all of a sudden and you just need something that's ready to go in the fridge. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here, and make sure to click that subscribe button down below and turn on your post notifications so that you never miss another video. Let's first get started on the breakfast recipe. The breakfast recipe is actually something that I showed in a semi-recent vlog. It is banana oat muffins, but in that vlog I was trying it out for the very first time, so I actually didn't even show you guys my measurements at all. I just made them. So today I'm actually going to be sharing the recipe with you guys, which is a little bit tweaked since the last time I did it to make it even more perfect. I'm also going to be making them in two different kinds. I'm going to be doing one as banana chocolate chip, and the banana is the base of the recipe, so it's going to be in the other one, but I'm going to be doing cinnamon apple. So here is everything that we will need to make these oat muffins. I've got a Granny Smith apple for the apple cinnamon ones that I'm gonna do, but you can just use any type of apple. This is just my favorite kind. I have some slivered almonds and semi-sweet chocolate chips for the plain ones without apples in it. We got eggs, we got old-fashioned oats. I have a second container because I'm almost out. 2 bananas, some coconut sugar, baking powder, cinnamon, vanilla, and this unflavored protein powder from Women's Best. What I love the most about this recipe is how easy it is to make. You literally just throw everything in a bowl and bake it and you're done. We first start off with 2 bananas and then we mash them in the bowl. Make sure to mash them leaving as little chunks as possible because we need this to be a smooth mixture. And if you see a fly going around, no, you are not crazy. It was flying around me the entire time. Then we're gonna crack 2 eggs and mix them in with the bananas. Then I'm going in and adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Honestly, you could add more cinnamon though. It would only make it even more delicious. To make these a little sweeter, I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of organic coconut sugar. If you don't like coconut sugar, you could use real sugar or brown sugar instead. Any would work. Or if you just want to omit it completely, it is not necessary. Then I'm adding 2 scoops of unflavored Fit Whey protein powder. You don't have to use the unflavored one. That's the one that I just happen to have. You can use vanilla or chocolate or one that's plant-based or really anything that you like. Or if you don't want to use protein powder at all, you could replace this with flour or more oats. Now it's time to add the oats. I am doing 2 1/4 cup. Now to help them rise a little bit, I'm going to add half of a teaspoon of baking powder. Now that the base is done, I'm going to start chopping up my apple. Since I'm only making half of this batch with the apples, I'm actually only going to do half of an apple, and I actually don't even end up using the entire half. Time to go through and grease up my muffin pan. I love using this silicone muffin pan because you don't actually need muffin liners. It creates a lot less waste and is so much easier to clean and actually get the food out of. So now I'm just going to evenly distribute the batter between all of the cups. Now it's time to add our mix-ins. For 7 of them, I'm going to do apples, and then the remaining 4, I'm going to do slivered almonds and chocolate chips. And I want the ingredients to be mixed throughout, so now I'm just taking a fork and mixing them in. I would have just mixed them into the batter if I was doing them all the same, but since I did half and half, this is the way that I'm doing it. Pop these suckers in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes and you're good to go. While the muffins are in the oven, I'm gonna get started on the mango salsa. For this, I'm going to be doing a whole mango, about half or 3/4 of this small red onion, half of this red bell pepper, the juice of a full lime, and you could do a little bit more jalapeno, but I actually already had this chopped in the fridge, so I was kind of just like, I don't want to start another one, so we're gonna finish up that guy. And then we're just gonna do a huge bushel of cilantro. I feel like you can never have too much cilantro because it's freaking delicious. So you first want to start by peeling your mango. I always think that this is going to be easy, but once I'm about halfway done, it just gets so slippery and hard to hold. So definitely make sure you be careful. Honestly, cutting the mango is probably the hardest part of this entire dish. If you've never cut a mango before, there's basically like a big core in the center. You can see how I'm just like slicing around it, and it doesn't actually end at a certain point. You can only really tell that you're at the center once it starts to get a little bit tougher to cut through and a little bit more grainy, and that's when you need to stop. So once you cut off all your mango, now you're gonna cut it into little bite-sized pieces. Basically, however chunky you like your salsa, that is how big you should cut your pieces of mango. I like my bites to be very, very tiny, so I'm kind of mincing it as small as I can. Make sure though that you don't over chop and basically pulverize the mango though, because then it'll be way too mushy. Next, you'll prep your other ingredients. So this would be the red bell pepper and the onion. Basically, I'm just gonna make these the same size as the mango bites, just as small little chunks as I can. For cilantro, I just like to take a big bushel and take up all the leaves from the stems. Then once it looks like enough, I'll just chop it up very finely and add it to the mixture. So there we have it, our delicious homemade mango salsa. This is perfect for taking as a snack to work or just eating when you get home or literally any occasion. I also love putting this on chicken because it makes a very healthy homemade sauce replacement. If you have a family member that you know is going to smash through this super quick, I definitely recommend using 2 mangoes and doubling the recipe. But this is a perfect amount for me. It'll definitely take me the entire week to go through this. Also, key tip, when I'm making things like this, as you can see, it's in a plastic Tupperware container. If you just make it in the plastic Tupperware container that you're gonna store it in, it totally eliminates another dish that you don't have to wash. So now I can just put the lid on this and put it in the fridge. All right, the muffins made it out of the oven and they look super yummy and crispy. What I love about these silicone pans is I don't need a muffin liner and they will literally just pop out so easily. So now the breakfast muffins are ready to be stored. They fit in this container absolutely perfectly, and now I'm just gonna keep them in the fridge throughout the week to keep them fresh. I'll usually eat about 3 muffins in the morning, and I'll cut them in half and put them in the microwave for about a minute, and then I'll smother them in almond butter, which is so freaking good. It just adds a little bit of extra flavor. This next recipe is my favorite to make for lunches for work. This lunch has 2 parts, so I'm going to make a turkey scramble, and then I'm also gonna make sweet potatoes on the side. We're first gonna start with the sweet potatoes in the oven because I already have it on and those take the longest. I usually get the bagged sweet potatoes at the store, and they almost always come with 8 potatoes in them. So I like to make them in groups of 4, so I'm gonna make 4 potatoes today. 4 potatoes usually last me the entire week. It's almost like slightly less than 1 potato a day, which I think is a pretty good amount. And then I have 4 for next week. So we're just gonna dice these up, season them, and put them in the oven. So these are all the spices that I'm gonna put on the potatoes. We've got onion powder, cayenne pepper, paprika, garlic powder, and a dash of salt. And pretty much I just put on as much as is gonna like cover all the potatoes, except for the cayenne. I do a little bit less obviously, but I do not normally actually measure these out. These guys I am cooking at 400, and I'm gonna cook them for 20 minutes on one side and 20 minutes on the other. I'm gonna flip them in between. These are the finished sweet potatoes. I actually took them out 4 minutes early and I think they are still ready. I mean, they could have gone longer, but I got a little impatient. They are perfectly crisp and you can see all the seasoning on there. Ooh, they look so good. Oh, they're hot. Ah. Now I'm just gonna wait for these to cool and put them in a container to put in the fridge. Oh my god! What's wrong? What's wrong, bunny? Stops meowing when I hold her. I don't know if that means she likes it. Do you like this? Look at the camera. Look like you love me. So for the second part of our lunch, we're going to make a turkey scramble. If you guys have seen in one of my older meal prep videos, I used to make turkey meatballs, which are absolutely delicious, but basically this is just an even simpler version of that. Only these, I add a little bit of extra vegetables in them, so it makes it even better. So for this recipe, you will need 1 pound of ground turkey. I'm gonna use the rest of this bell pepper that I didn't use from the mango salsa. We're gonna use some cilantro, garlic, of course, and then I love adding shredded carrots. I just love carrots in pretty much anything. Then we're gonna do half of a green bell pepper and the rest of this onion from the mango salsa as well. So here I chopped up the onions and peppers and now I'm adding them to the pan. I like to make them a little bit smaller so they're very bite-sized, but you can make them bigger or whatever size that you like. Let the veggies simmer in the pan for about 1 to 2 minutes so they get a tiny bit soft, and then you can add your meat. I'm using these tongs to break up the turkey into small bite-sized pieces. You can leave them a little bit bigger if you like, but I like to make it as small as possible. For sauces, I'm doing just a little bit of sesame chili oil, then a dash of soy sauce, some ginger powder, cilantro, and lime juice. So this is the finished turkey stir fry in a container ready to go in the fridge. I don't like to pre-proportion out my meals, so I'm going to proportion out my lunch for tomorrow right now, but the other meals I'm just gonna wait until the night before and take it out of this container. So this is what the lunch looks like with the turkey stir fry and the potatoes together. This will be my lunch at work tomorrow. I'll just pop that in the microwave at work and she'll be ready to go. And then I also like to bring a little amount of spring greens and kind of make it into a little bit of a salad, just to kind of beef it up a little bit and add in some extra greens. If you don't like sweet potatoes, you can totally do this with regular potatoes as well. Or if you're trying to be low carb, you can also use butternut squash. I actually sometimes like to make a butternut squash and sweet potatoes together and mix them half and half. Butternut squash pretty much takes the same amount of time as sweet potatoes, so I'll honestly just bake them together exactly how I did the potatoes today and it'll be perfect. So those are all my meal prep recipes for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed. All of these recipes were super healthy and so easy to make. I made that mango salsa while the muffins were cooking, so you can definitely be very time efficient. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up to let me know, because if you guys want me to make more videos like this, I have a ton more recipes. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week in another video. Bye!